Salute everybody. Welcome to Miss Parker. Miss Parker, I hope everybody's having a blessed Wednesday this far. Hey Leslie, what's going on? Give my shout outs real quick, Miss Shaquana. So give me just a second and we'll get right into
Okay.
it. Hey Leslie, happy Wednesday, sis. Hey Miss Callie, love you, sis. Hey goddess sister, what's going on? LaDana, hey girl, hey Jante, hey Barbie. And you guys, if you feel free to send a love token to Shaquana at Cook the Pot One. If just to support a mother who lost a child and still, fighting for her daughter, and things like that, which I find I love that about her. I do. Only hopes and prayer, what's going on? I want to leave that on the screen in case anybody feels love in their heart to support this beautiful woman right here. Is Miss Shaquana. Hey Time Warp, what's going on, Sister VT, T Meals, what's going on? What's going on? And the moderators are dropping her cash app as well in the chat. I don't want any support from this. If y'all did want to support me, please send it to Miss Shaquana, okay? What's going on, Renee? What's going on, Key Loves to Me? What is going on, Miss Jamila? Let's get into it. How are you, Miss Shaquana, today? Happy Wednesday to you as well.
Hey to you. I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
So
good.
far, so good.
Yeah. How's this mentally, where are you today?
I mean, it's June, of course. So it's like I've been kind of up and down a little bit because this will be the month that they actually kidnapped her birthday month. Yeah, so yeah, it's around that time. Even though it's
Yeah.
something that I go through every day, like for us trying to get my day going and everything like that. But it's like it's tough in June for us.
Yes. They
Yeah.
said keep up the good work, and I'm praying for her. Keith Still said he's praying for you. Um,
Yes,
can we
please.
go back to that frightful day, that horrific day of June 28, 2017?
Yes. It was the day I'll never forget that day. One of the worst days of my life. But I was actually at home. At that time, I was staying in Pleasant Grove and I didn't have any transportation. Shavon was having problems in at the elementary school that she was going to, so I transferred her. Me and her aunt, we transferred her to the schools in Lancaster. So she was going to John W. Carpenter at that time, the STEM Academy, in the 6th grade. And my sister in law, well, while I was actually at home, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. It was the summertime, so the kids were out of school, but she stayed at her aunt's because I would get her on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, she had to be there to be able to go to school. But during that summer, she was staying to be able to babysit her little cousins and stuff to make some extra money. That was the summer that she turned 13. She turned 13 June the 22nd. That would be her birthday. But to get that phone call, it was something different. I had got a phone call from her number. Actually, I want to say it was at least about 10:15, 10:16, somewhere up in there. And it was she was calling my phone. I'm thinking it was her calling my phone. But when I tried to call her back when I got out of the shower, because I was getting ready for work, like I said, when I tried to call her number back, I didn't get an answer. And I tried again. I didn't get an answer. And I kept on trying. I'm like, okay, how's she gonna call me and then don't answer the phone? And all of a sudden I say about like a good 20 minutes after that, my sister-in-law called me. And my sister-in-law was like, Shaquana, did you come over here and get Shavon? I said, no. I said, Shavon is there. I said, she called my phone. I tried to call her back, but she didn't answer. She said, no, Shaquan, do you know anybody that would have came over here and got her? And I said, no. She said, because Shaq said that, which is her daughter, Ladaris. now Perkins. It was Randall. Now she's a Perkins. But she said that Ladaris got a phone call asking did she know Shavon Randle, that they had Shavon Randle, which was my baby, which was her niece and Ladaris's cousin. And I was like, what? And she was like, they saying that they got her and they're not gonna give her back. Well, they're not gonna give her back or something like that. That what was said to Ladaris when they called her phone. Me not knowing her boyfriend went and robbed somebody and stole over 25 pounds of marijuana. And they had been actually looking all that week. It happened, I think, like on a Sunday. They kidnapped Siobhan on that Wednesday, but
Mm,
they had been looking for her or either her boyfriend, which is Kendall Perkins. They had been looking for them ever since that Sunday. Me, I don't know. I didn't know none of this. I didn't find out, that they had been looking for them, been that they been at her job and all of this until, we actually went to court, but that's really what happened. They were looking for them. They finally found out where her mom lived at in Lancaster, and what I guess they were thinking that their stuff was there. Because
mm,
even when they went in my sister-in-law's house the day that they got Siobhan, they rambled through thinking that they were going to find their stuff, but
mm.
their stuff wasn't there. So I guess just trying to keep her to get until they got their stuff back. So they took my baby. So we finally got a hold of Kendall on the phone when we found out that Siobhan's phone, they got records on Siobhan's phone that showed that Siobhan's phone called me and that it called Ladaris and it also called Kendall. So that made my sister-in-law go and call him and ask him what was going on. Cause Siobhan ain't at that house. We done had to call the police. Siobhan not there and all of this stuff here. And all he could say was they want their stuff back. They're not gonna give her back until they get their stuff back. And we like, what stuff? And he said some weed that he stole.
So did
So
you so did you actually talk to the kidnappers at one point, Shaquana?
no, no,
So they
no.
only called you
I
never
knew
answered
I
their
knew
phone.
I'm thinking when I thought it was Siobhan calling my phone when I was taking a shower, I'm thinking it was her, but apparently it was one of them. And they were trying to find him. And see, in Siobhan's phone, I'm in there as her mama. So, okay, we're going to call your mama and let your mama know that this is what I'm thinking was
Mm-hmm.
going through their head. Oh, we're going to call your mama. If your mama wants you back, she going to get in touch with him or she going to give him to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what that was about. Or just to even just let us know, what was going on. We got your baby. We ain't giving her back until we get our stuff.
When
You
did
know, but
when did Ladores eventually call you to let you know it was a ransom? Because this happened on June 28th. Was it immediately that Ladores called
no,
you about her
no,
boyfriend KP? And
no,
so when
no.
did you find out it was a ransom for Siobhan?
The police.
Mm.
My sister-in-law called the police when Siobhan was not in her house. My sister-in-law called the police and the police came in and they said that's when they told us that they had did the running on her phone and that her phone called Kendall Perkins. So that like I said, my sister-in-law called him. And that's when he said that to us, and all of a sudden his phone hung up. But
So
we
what?
already knew what at that point we knew what the situation was. Oh, he don't want to
Mm,
rob somebody. So they done came over here looking for them and they wasn't here. So they took my baby. Because don't get me wrong, my baby was there and then also my niece. But my niece has Down syndrome. And she's probably about like I believe she is Siobhan will be 22 this year. And Cassie is either 25 or 26.
mm-hmm,
So she's some years older than Siobhan, but she was grown at the time, basically. She was like 18, something like that.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, they went in my sister-in-law's house and took my baby. and they said that they were gonna hold her until they got their stuff back. That's the word that we got from Kendall.
Okay.
We
So
didn't actually. I didn't know nothing. I don't know none of these people.
okay.
I barely even. I knew of him. I've never actually had done sat down and had a conversation with him or nothing. I just knew that he was at that time my niece in law's baby daddy. Like she had kids with him.
Let me ask you about Ladoris. Did Ladoris and Kendall not have their own place at that time that Siobhan like
They
separate
did.
from her? So why
They
didn't the
did. They
kidnappers go there versus to your sister's house? Did that
they
have
went to my
anything to do?
they went to my sister in law's house.
Oh, your
She was
sister-in-law.
like, I yeah, that's my kid's daddy. That's his sister,
Okay, okay,
and that's what she was. Yeah, but
okay.
they did actually. They did. They went there looking for them, and basically messed up their house too that they were staying in at that time.
Hmm.
But they were not there. Like I said, they were looking for their stuff. So they were not there. But I guess during that time from that Sunday to that Wednesday, they had been trying to find them. And they found out where her mom lived at.
Mm.
So that's why they went there. And honestly, if you look at my baby looked just like Ladaris. So it wasn't no denying that she wasn't kin to her or nothing like that. But they took my baby and was saying that they wasn't gonna give her back until they got their stuff. But after all of everything that went on and stuff like that, they killed. Come to find out, they actually killed her that same day that they took her.
So all this happened on the same day.
Yeah, basically,
Wow.
my
Um.
baby had got killed that same day.
mm. It was an informant that came forward. I know you was in court. I seen you televised in court during the trial and things like that. Did you ever hear that it was a informant and a guy named that goes by the name Trey alleged that he was gonna find a child to kidnap and get the drugs or the money back? They said he was actually a guy named Trey had actually said this, and I didn't read about a Trey, which until I found that that was Devontae Owens, um, who was locked up along with Darius Fields.
Yes, it's Darius Fields, Devontae Owens, Laquan Wilkerson, and Lord Jesus, what's these
Yeah,
boys'
it's a
name?
few of them. I got it wrote down
Yeah,
in some of
yeah.
my notes right here. Laquan Wilkerson, Desmond Jones, um, Devontae Owens. We got Darius Fields, and it's another one as well. Um,
Michael
did
Titus.
Yeah, Michael Titus. We're gonna get to
The
that.
thing,
I
yeah.
want to ask you some questions about that. Did anybody ever feel like you had something to do with it, Shaquana? Like maybe your whole family knew about this situation? Was you ever accused?
It was no, I was never accused, but you know how they say, don't read the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and their mama got their own opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I mean, no, we all knew what it was. It was there, but people gonna say what they want to say. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew none of these people at all. And I mean, I beat myself up for so many years. Like, what did I do? You know, where did I go wrong? It just started, just making you feel like you just a bad parent. Because us as parents, we here to protect our kids. I was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be able to protect my baby, but to just feel so useless and so helpless, like I couldn't help her. Because I didn't know none of these people. But like I said, reading them comments, you got people that think they know what they talking about. Oh, I took some money for something and this and that. I was a bad parent and I mean just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. But just over time, it took some time for me to just sit there and just realize I know I did my part in Shavon life.
Mm-hmm.
All I ever wanted to know was, and I know it was a period of time where my baby said, I want my mama.
Mm,
I know it was. I know it was a period of time when my baby said, I want my mama or I
mm,
want my daddy. You know, I know it was. And I just feel so bad because I couldn't help her. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know what to do.
yeah.
I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. I did not know what to do at all. I was lost. Some days I find myself still lost, still trying to figure stuff out. Like what if?
Mm,
Going through all of them court dates and going to court, seeing them give these boys time and lock these boys up. And you go in there just feeling so good because you thinking you gonna get something out of it. But what I really want out of it, I did not get out of it. I wanted my baby back.
mm.
I didn't even get to see my baby before she got buried. I couldn't even see my baby. I can go to the morgue and see her. That's how decomposed her body was
Yeah,
from
I want
being
to
in a
touch
hot
on that
house.
too. Go ahead, Shaquan. I'm sorry for interrupting you, love.
No, I'm just saying that's just how decomposed her body was from being in that house. And I couldn't see her. So honestly, to me, it's like it's it's hard to believe because of the fact that I didn't get to see her. I
Yeah.
didn't get to see my baby.
FBI agent Jennifer Bridgman called finding the bodies of your daughter and Michael Titus the worst discovery of her career.
Yeah.
So, with you saying that and the emotions that you're giving us and things, she said it was the worst of her career and how
And
broken.
she was actually one of the ones, her and my the FBI advocate that I had, Melissa, they were two ladies that told me no. They were like, Shaquan, I know how you feel. You want to see your baby, but I'm sorry. Like, I mean, they honestly told me, like, we cannot stop you from seeing her, but we don't want you to see her like that.
Mm,
Like, that is not the way you want to see your baby.
mm,
Detective Mulligan, she told me, Agent Mulligan, she told me, she said, you remember what she looked like the last time you saw her? And I showed her a picture where Shavon was playing in my phone and was taking pictures of herself. And she was like, you see that smile? That's what you remember. Those are the thoughts that you want to have. Because if you have to go in there and see what I just seen, she said you would be scarred for the rest of your life. You wouldn't even want to live for the rest of your kids.
mm.
That's exactly what she told me. She said it was because of the decomp, the way her body was
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know that, and before we get into Michael Titus, shout out to my sister Miss Callie's Kitchen in the chat. She actually had sent me this story some years ago, and she lived in Dallas a little bit around that time, and was moving out of the moving in Texas, and she said this story touched her so bad, and she knew of Michael Titus, and she asked me to do this story, but I didn't have all the facts. And I want to say shout out to Rainwater for getting me in touch with you. I'm so grateful to bring somebody because there's been so many things circulating around your daughter's passing, and I didn't want to put out information that wasn't factual and things. So I said I always try to get in touch with you, but I know I didn't know the way. So I finally reached out to Rainwater, and I reached out to Rainwater because he said you had contacted him, and I realized listening to My Baby by Mo3 had
Yeah.
Shavon name in his song. Shout out to Mo3 and shout out to the Mo3 sector. But the song My Baby, how did that make you feel, and who got you onto that song to know that Mo3 spoke of Shavon Randle in his song?
When I lost Siobhan, They were they came back, was it October 19th, actually, of that same year, 2017, and they knocked down the house that they found her and Michael Titus in. And I met a lady by the name of Tasha Cox. I can't think of her last name now. She done got married. But she's a person like a go to if I need to talk to somebody or something like that. But she lost her son, LD Cox, which he also talks about in that same song. He was
Yes.
the one that got killed the same day of his graduation.
Mm,
He had just graduated and got killed the same night of his graduation. He died in May, actually that same year. And I met up with her, and she ended up texting me like a little time after that day, at the day that they knocked the house down, like a little while after that. She was like, Shaquana, Mo3 put LD and LD and Siobhan's name in a song. And I was like, huh? And she told me the name of the song, and then she actually sent it to me. And I was listening to it and everything. And I mean, like, it was like he hit it right on the nose when he said, and to her mama, that's her baby girl. And
yes.
it was. I got three girls and I got one boy. And she was my baby girl. She was a tough something, but that was my baby girl.
Yes.
That was my baby.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So
I
thank
mean, he hit it right on the nose.
He did. I love that song. I instantly gravitated. I was like, Rain, I'm gonna play it when we end this live and things like that because I'm from the Mo3 sector on YouTube. And so three I've always been a fan of Three's music. So when Miss Callie sent me the story about Shavon and stuff, we chopped it up a little bit and she was like, please one day when you have time cover her story for me. And she said, it hurts me. She said, I'm not going to be there, but I want you to cover it because it just breaks my heart. So today she said, she's saying on the screen, I'm so happy she's allowed to speak. This is so sad. So that's the young lady, my sister from Texas, that had sent me this 3 years ago, actually. Um, how do you feel that Michael Titus? I want to get to Michael Titus because they found Michael Titus in the house unalived as well with Siobhan on that day. His mother said she's fighting for him. I read the article. She's fighting for Michael and that he didn't do this to Siobhan. How did how do you feel?
From in the beginning, of course, he was a person of interest. He was also a suspect at the time.
Mhm.
And then I remember her coming on the news and saying, if they found all of the guys that had something to do with it and they didn't find her son, that he was going to be dead too.
Mm,
And that and she just kept on telling him that. And she said when they had her at the police station questioning her, she said the same thing. They had came in and they was like, okay, we just got they got I believe once they got Darius, then they had got Devontae and Laquan, of course, and Michael was in Desmond. Michael was still nowhere to be found. They also had got LaPortia
mhm,
Polly. He was with Darius when they caught him. But it was tough in the beginning because of the fact that he was a person of interest. And then it was like once we found out that he was actually killed too, and why he was killed, because they felt like he had done set it up to where Kendall could go over there and rob LaPortia at that hotel room.
mm,
So they felt like he set it up, which he didn't. He just wasn't there. He
mm,
wasn't there when Kendall went and got the weed from the hotel room. And I guess that's what his job was. He was supposed to be there.
Mm.
But I guess he sent Kendall there, supposed to be just buying a pound. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure. This is just what I'm hearing, what
Mhm.
I'm going off of, just listening to testimonies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was just supposed to go there just to buy a pound or whatever, and just so happened the Porsche was there, but he hadn't already made up in his mind that he was gonna rob whoever was in that hotel room because he had people with him. But
Did did
with
Kendall ever get
Michael,
locked up, Shaquana?
yes, he did. Eventually, he did. They um they couldn't charge him with nothing like extreme because honestly, he's not the one that killed my baby. Yeah, he did something that caused my child to get killed behind his mistake, but they only charged him with the aggravated robbery from going there and robbing a Porsche with a gun.
Mm.
So he was sentenced to. He was out actually on a monitor for some years, and then they finally gave him 7 years, but he did 7 months and he got back out because he
I
had
want.
already been on that monitor for all those years,
Oh, really? Even when
and
he
he was
committed
doing.
the robbery, Shaquana?
He committed the robbery. He stole that weed and he took off to East Texas. They
What?
actually had to. He finally decided to turn himself in, so they went down there and they picked him up and they brought him back here. He was in jail for a little bit and then he bonded out. When he bonded out, they had him on a monitor. This is Kendall. They had him on a monitor, and once they had him on the monitor, he just, I guess he was just doing the right thing. He was reporting, he was at home, he wasn't, getting in no trouble or nothing like that. So they finally had them set up his court date. He went to court and he got 7 years for the aggravated robbery. I guess, because of the fact that he actually had prior criminal history, had done got locked up for robbery or whatever before. So they gave him 7 years, but the fact that he did so good on that monitor, I guess that's why they released him the way that they did.
Okay.
Because he was only locked up for like 7 months.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's,
but they let him back out.
so, Michael, it was said that when they went in the house, that Michael had the gloves. They had latex gloves. He had on latex gloves, and he had the pistol in his hand that allegedly took the life of your daughter. Do you
Yeah,
believe that, Shaquana?
I know. I know for a fact. Michael Titus is the one that shot Shavon.
Do you think it was forced by Darius and them that he did that?
Yeah,
They still ended up taking his life as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Hmm.
I do. Because they were all scared of him. All of them are scared of Darius Fields. They are all scared of him. They called him God, King, Daddy. The boy had been online searching on how to run what they call him, a cartel, like the rules of a cartel. Like he was building his own team. That boy, he has a problem. Darius Fields has a problem. The man sat there and looked me straight in my face during my testimony in that courtroom, like he was just finna make me like he was just finna intimidate me.
Mm.
But at that point of my life, and at that point of time, anything that he would have looked at me, frowned up at me, looked mean at me, whatever he thought he was gonna do to try to intimidate me to keep me from saying what I was saying, he had me all the way messed up today. And I was gonna say what I wanted to say because they wrong. They did not have to kill my baby. My baby ain't the one that went and took their stuff. My baby had absolutely nothing to do. My baby nor my family had anything to do with their stuff. And I mean, to this day, it's still hard for me to understand. And I think it's only because we were not, we were not, we were not raised like that.
Mm,
When we grown folks handle grown folks' business, us kids never got caught up in their business.
yes.
But now times have changed. These folks don't care. They killing kids. They killing old folks. They don't care. And that man sat in that courtroom, and when I tell you, he looked like he didn't care. But then got up there and tried to play a pity role, like, "Oh, my daddy was never in my life," and this and that. Your daddy's sitting right here in this courtroom.
Right.
My baby's daddy was locked up when his daughter got killed. And I had to go. I didn't go. His uncles went because I couldn't do that. I couldn't see myself having to go down there to that jailhouse and tell my baby daddy that his child was gone over something that his niece's boyfriend had did.
Mm, mm, mm.
And they had to
How,
go down there and tell him that.
how did they allow him out for Shavon's services?
No. It was we tried. We had the mayor and everything write letters and everything because usually they would,
Yeah.
especially when it's like immediate family, but they said no because of the fact that the case was so high profile. Yeah, that's
Let
why
me
they
ask
told
you
him no.
this. Let me ask you this, Shaquana. Do you believe that this was bigger than kidnapping? I mean, that the kidnapping was bigger than drugs, even though you know that Kendall robbed them. Did you ever think this is bigger? The way they did that, what they did to your baby, it was brutal.
It was. They shot her 4 times. They shot my baby 4 times. And then, well, Michael shot my baby 4 times. And the way That's why they said they believe it was like a defense mechanism on her end because she threw her hands up, and she turned. So it's like it went through one breast, came out the bottom of it. She
Mm.
took one straight in her abdom what they call this area her girl.
Her
The
torso. Yeah.
In her torso, yeah, there you go. In her torso, she took one. Oh my God, she took one. I believe it went in the side of her neck, and it came out of her shoulder, and then it was another one, basically in her breast area,
Mhm.
where it just went through her breast also. But it was basically like a defense mechanism, like as if he was shooting at her with his eyes closed.
Mhm. Mm. Jesus,
Yeah,
Shaquana. Oh my God.
and then they made him clean up the blood and stuff. And they moved her, and he moved her to the bathroom.
Mm.
Then they went and had him call somebody to come over there and help him clean up the blood, which was Desmond Jones.
Mm.
Desmond Jones said in his testimony that when he got there, Michael, he was like, "What's up?" You know what he had to do. He was just trying to make some money. Desmond was got the most time. Him
Wow.
just trying to make some money. He was helping Michael clean up the blood from Shavon. And he said that Michael told him they made him do something bad, something that he didn't want to do. And he was like, "What?" Because he was wondering, like, who blood is this we cleaning up? And he said that Michael showed him Shavon in that bathroom. And he said they made him do something bad, something that he didn't want to do. And then I guess Laquan was the one that was left there to make sure that the mess get cleaned up.
Mm.
So here he go. He helping Michael clean up the blood and stuff. And he say he bent down. They turned around or something, cleaning blood off the wall. And then Laquan, that's when Laquan shot Michael in the back of the head.
Oh, Laquan took Michael out. Wow.
Yeah. Laquan is the one that killed Michael. Yeah.
How disgusted was you to find out that Darius was in jail bragging about taking the life of your daughter?
I was mad. I was mad, and even in the courtroom when they brought that up in the courtroom, I told them, I was like, "How dare you tell somebody in jail that you killed that little bitch?"
Mm,
Because by far, I mean, like you don't even get the privilege to call my baby a B word.
mm,
You don't even get that privilege. So how dare you call my baby a B word? And then they're gonna go back, and then when they let, I guess when his lawyer said something, he said that when he made that statement, it wasn't for Shavon. It wasn't talking about Shavon. They were talking about Ladaris. Talking about they was gonna kill that bitch,
mm.
which was Ladaris, which was Kendall's girlfriend.
Well, it doesn't make sense that he would say that. Ladoris is still living. Let
Yeah,
me ask you this, Shaquana. That's always bothered me about me trying to cover this case. 'Cause again, I'm from the Mo3 sector, and when I try to cover Siobhan's story the first time, people kept trying to put, I guess, saying the people that Mo3 did something to Mo3 had something to do with that. Everybody was involved with everybody. Have you ever heard anything like that about the same people that took the life of Mo3? Because these are people that are affiliated with Yellow Beezy, Darius Fields, all of these guys, Laquan Wilkerson, Desmond Jones, Devontae Owens. These are partners of Yellow Beezy, and we all
yeah.
know that Yellow Beezy had. Um,
I didn't like in the beginning. No, I didn't. But here recently, when I saw that, like sometimes when you're on Facebook, they pop up mug shots of people. That's when they were moving them down to Dallas County because they had to testify. I
mm,
guess in that case, they were there
mm,
for some kind of character witnesses or something like that. When they had to pull them from TDC and brought them in. Okay. When I saw that, I'm like, what? And then they were on there saying that they were brought here to testify because um I guess Trap Boy Freddy and Yellow Beezy, the person that killed Mo3, all of that had something to do with Siobhan's murder. No, it did not. These
mm,
guys are having to testify in that because of the, I guess, whatever they had going on with that situation.
yeah.
That's what they're testifying on. And it's another girl, it's a girl involved in something.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they had to testify in her trial also.
Mm,
So they were actually brought back to testify in other stuff that they were brought up in.
mm-hmm.
So that made me call, and that's how I found out about that. But it had nothing to do with Siobhan. But I also did hear that all this time when people were thinking that that weed that was stolen belonged to some kind of cartel, and the
Yes.
cartel is the ones that's supposed to have done killed my baby, and all of this stuff here. No, they are saying that the weed apparently belonged to Trap Boy.
Mm,
I'm not sure. I'm just saying what I, be reading when they be putting all that stuff up. But they put so much fake stuff up. But I know
yes.
they were pulled. I know Devontae and Darius was pulled to testify in this Yellow Beezy case.
Mm, 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 mm. And I know
Yeah,
you're not.
but they're not getting out. They're not getting no time cut off or none of that. They're going right back where they came from.
Okay. I know that's right, Mom.
Hmm.
I know that's right. And
Hmm.
before I talked to you, I had to go down the rabbit hole and talk to someone, and that's how I knew that. Um, so I know you're being honest because they said, yeah, those are Yellow Beezy's partners, and they told me to be careful, and I told them I was interviewing you and things like that, and I was like, they're locked up. They was like, just be careful. covering that and stuff like that. So, again, shout out to you, Miss Shaquana, for being so strong. Because I heard you, I seen your post on Facebook, and you said, "Baby, I'm still fighting for you."
Yeah, and in that, I mean, I'm always fighting for my babies. I love
Yeah,
my kid, and we all as parents, we fall in situations where, how they say it takes a village, and at that time it took a village. My baby had to go and stay with her auntie. I didn't have no car. She couldn't go to no DISD school, so why not send her to Lancaster? And me sending my baby to Lancaster out there, honestly, at first, because that's my sister-in-law.
yeah.
I'm 14 years I was in that family. And of course we bumped heads sometimes. We didn't agree on everything. But I know my sister in law, and she was married to my cousin. She ended up getting married to my cousin. So that actually made me feel comfortable with letting my baby stay over there and everything. My sister in law did not kill my baby. My cousin did not kill my baby. And honestly, Ladarius Perkins or Kendall Perkins, they didn't kill my baby either. Those guys killed my baby. They killed my baby. And over all of those years, during all of those years, it was just so much. When you're dealing with family and it's just so much.
Mm,
So I mean oh Lord, it was a lot. It's a lot
mm.
to it, it just
I know, Miss Shaquana.
yeah.
How's your relationship with Ladoris? Ladoris right now.
Yeah. At first it was tough. It was tough. And then it's just, just like I said over time, had to pray, had to I had to have conversations with God and with myself and people that could relate.
Yeah.
They tried to send me to counseling. I don't want to talk to nobody that cannot relate to what I got going on. If you ain't lost a baby, I mean, it ain't nothing you can say to me. And honestly, even in my situation, I bump into people who done lost kids. I'm sometimes lost for words. All I can tell them is what I do. All I can do is tell them what I do and hope and pray that you can try and kind of try to get it to work for you. But no day is going to be a good day at
Mm,
all. And that's what I always tell people, no day is a good day. But it took a while for me, like I said earlier, she didn't kill my baby.
mm,
She didn't put the gun to my baby and kill my baby. So like I said, it was just over time. Just I think I was just more so angry because that's her man. And don't give me and it's just me being a female, me being honest. If my man did something, I ain't just finna just up and just, tell it. But if it was a situation like that, to
yeah.
where it was a child that got killed or one of
Absolutely.
our kids got killed, that's a whole nother situation. And honestly, my baby daddy, I already know. If it involved a child, baby, yeah, I told it on you. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? But in her case, she didn't just, it took a lot to get it out of her. You know what I'm saying? But this is your cousin.
Yeah.
That's all I kept saying to myself. Why you don't want to say nothing? It's your cousin. You sitting up here knowing all of this and got us running around here looking crazy. Like, where's Shavon? Why they take Shavon? This is your cousin. You know this. So I think that's more so where my anger came from when it came to her. Now, it's been almost 8 years now, so we don't have time to like talk, not just necessarily to where we perfect,
Yeah.
but I could talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I've actually cooked for a birthday party that she had or something because I cook and stuff, so I cater and all of that. So I did a party for her and stuff like that. And she got a lot going on right now. She, doing her thing with her business and everything. And I mean, I'm proud of her. That's my niece. I looked at her as my niece. But at that time when she was just sticking by him, like, you know what I'm saying? That just, it really just, it got me bad. I built up a hate for her then. I did. I did. I built up hate for her. And that's such a strong word and a word that my mama always tell me, don't be saying no hate. You don't say you hate nobody. But I did. I hated her. I hated him. Made me hate my sister-in-law because this is her child. She was sticking up for her baby too. When she knew. That was my thing. We sitting out here with all these police and everything here. They done called your phone. They called your phone, told you that they took Shavon. But you want to act like you didn't really know what was going on. And y'all right, and your man robbed them folks Sunday. But you sat there and you act like you didn't know what was going on. You finally pull up to, in taking mine. Okay, the police was there. When my sister-in-law called at about like 10:20, the police was there in less than 5 minutes. I didn't make it to Lancaster until about like 11 something because, like I said at that time, I didn't have a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So I had to actually, with the guy that I was with at that time, his sister actually came from where she lived at, came and got us and took us to Lancaster. We didn't make it there till after 11. It's just us, my sister-in-law there, my cousin there, my whole family is there. All of us are there. Like, where do we start? Where do we go? We trying to find her. Like, where do we need to go? What do we need to do? We didn't even know what to do. We didn't know where to start. People driving by because they see us all outside with the news people. Where is Ladaris? Nobody saw Ladaris. Take in mind, we've been there since about 11. Me and my whole family been there since before 11 o'clock. And she didn't pull up till about like 2, 3 o'clock.
Jeez.
She didn't pull up till about 2 or 3 o'clock. And then said, why y'all all in my face? What you mean? They called your man. They called you. Y'all know something. Tell us something. That's when
Mm-hmm.
we went in the house and the police was in there talking to us. And they was like, well, we tracked Siobhan's phone and it called this number. The number that he called out belonged to Kendall. And like I said, my sister-in-law went and called him and he said what he said and his phone hung up. But he all the way in East Texas.
Wow.
He told them that he threw the drugs off the bridge when he was going over the Trinity River. Them people
Mm.
never found it. And people never found it.
So they never found the drugs that Kendall took.
No.
Mm.
Mm-mm. And for a while, I felt like she was picking at me. Like she was just picking. Like she was just trying to find ways to just really just to make me mad to where I get on this phone and I just start talking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was with it. I was with all of the shenanigans, baby. I'll post a picture of you, I'll talk about you and this and that. Because it was wrong. I feel like she was so wrong for what she did. She went when he got locked up, opened up a business, taking mine. My baby, my daughter is the one that just got killed. You go and name your business Amore Siobhan.
Mm.
Not once did you say, Shaquana, would you have a problem if I did this? It wasn't ever there. I felt like that would have been like the first thing that I would have did. I wouldn't have up and just did that. But you know what my mama told me? My mama said, Shaquana, that was done out of guilt. My sister said the same thing.
Absolutely.
Friends, family, everybody was saying the same thing. That was out of guilt. I could have went and I could have, tried to sue her, get everything that she got out of using Siobhan's name. But I didn't do that.
Mm.
And I said, because you know what? Like I said, I had to talk to God. I talked to my pastor and everything. And I had to, get that understanding. Like, whatever it is she trying to get out of it, ain't no good gonna come out of it. So you just sit back and you just let her do what she thinks she's doing. So I just I left it alone. I just didn't communicate with them. I stayed away. I stayed in my closet, whatever you want to call it, in my space and out the way. I just tried to keep my composure, tried to keep myself together and my peace. That's why my peace is such a big thing now. I do not like when people come in and mess up my peace. I
Yeah.
don't, because I'm not me. Once you mess up my peace, it's all messed up. And then if it wasn't for my other three kids, yeah. like Agent Mulligan said, baby, I've been lost. I would probably been
Yeah.
in the crazy house or either tried to hurt myself.
That's for sure.
Honestly.
That's for sure. Sometimes God, you're asking why, and we just
And
don't know.
don't get me wrong. Don't
The
get me wrong. To this day, I still ask why. And I've been told by my pastor, everybody, don't question God, don't question God. And you know how some people say, and I've always felt bad about that because that's another thing that makes me feel like bad. Because people say when their loved ones pass away, oh, they came to me in a dream and I saw this and that.
your volume went out, Shaquana.
Um, uh, it was
Somebody was calling you, I think.
yeah, somebody called.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, somebody was trying to call. But you know how people say, like, they loved ones that they lost come to them in a dream and, or, just might pop up when they just sitting there just looking and just show up in ways.
Hmm.
Man, I feel so bad because I ain't never had that. And here I am. I'm always thinking about her. I'm always doing stuff for her and stuff like that. And I've always just felt bad about that. Not saying I won't get it, I won't expect it, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, I did something wrong because she hasn't popped up like that for me. I haven't seen her in a dream. Like, I honestly want to hear her say, Mama, I'm okay. Mama, I'm great where I'm at. Let me know you okay. Like I said, I didn't get to see her, so it's still hard. It's hard for me to just sit here and say, "Oh, my baby dead." It's hard for me to believe it. I didn't see it, and not just me. It's my kids too. We all feel that way. We still celebrate her birthday every year. No, it's still a thing. That's a day. That's Shavon's day right there. We
Yeah.
celebrate that day.
Um, how how did you feel when you went in court and heard that Darius Fields had been kidnapping? Like he was known for this. Like he had been doing this prior to Siobhan.
But like I said, Darius ain't doing nothing.
Mm,
Darius is daddy. He king. He
mm,
God. All he needed was money.
mm,
He ain't doing nothing. Them boys was doing it for him.
yeah.
Them boys was doing it for him.
And how
He
did
never got it. He didn't get his hands dirty. They got their hands dirty. He didn't get his hands dirty.
Darius's father?
Huh?
Darius's father or
No,
Darius?
him.
Darius.
Darius. Yeah, he
Hmm.
had them boys calling him daddy and king and God and all of that.
I heard.
Yeah, he was running the show. It was his money that got everything done. If he was beefing with somebody, they took care of his business for him.
What
And
did
like
you feel
that
like
judge told
hearing?
him,
Go ahead, Shaquana. Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
Mom.
but when we was in court, the judge told him when she gave him his time, she said, and I'm not saying because it was a comment made that I didn't kill your daughter. He said, Shaquana, I didn't kill your daughter. And I'm looking at him like, boy, you don't even know me like that. Don't even call me that. Don't even say my name. He said in Miss Shaquana when he was up there testifying, the only one that decided to get up there and testify and thought that he was going to win something, thought he was going to do something. You know, paid this big time lawyer all this money and everything, and he didn't get you off. He couldn't even get your appeal.
Mm,
Your family up in there dropping off money every day, and every court day.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm talking, I had the nerve to say, Miss Shaquana, I didn't kill your baby. Of course you didn't. Of course you did not. But you had somebody to do it. And like that judge told him, I don't believe that you killed Shavon, but I believe you could have stopped it. Now, of course, Michael Titus is the one that killed Shavon. But everybody's saying, like, why they didn't give nobody no murder charge? This and that. They want to hear, oh, this person got charged with murder of Shavon. No, I like it the way it was. They all got hit with organized crime. They led to the death of her. They led to the, well, it was kidnapping and organized crime. They got more years that way. If I
Mm-hmm.
would have, if they would have hit him with murder, he would have got 20 years,
Yeah.
25 years. Would have probably did like 10, 12, and been right back out in the streets on
Mm-hmm.
a murder charge. But they
Mm-hmm.
got more time for kidnapping and the organized crime.
And Darius got to go down and do time in Kentucky per your post, correct? He still got, or does that do that? Do they just move that over to
No.
Texas?
No, I think with that case that he had something to do with in Kentucky, I think that I'm not sure if they're gonna run that. I think they running it concurrent
Okay.
with the time that he has to do in state because he received 54 state time, TDC time, and he still had a 20-year sentence that he had to do in the feds.
Mm-hmm.
So right now he's actually still in the feds. He have to do that whole life sentence in the feds, which is 20 years with no parole or nothing. When he get done with that, then he'll be moved to TDC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he still got a long time. So he ain't never getting
Yeah,
out.
he still. No, he
Yeah.
ain't gonna make it up out of there.
How
No.
did you feel, Shaquana, once you heard Trap Boy Freddy's name? We know the demise of Mo3, Melvin Noble.
Yeah.
How did you feel once you started hearing those names being
I'm
connection?
like, Lord, where these people come from? Like, what they got to do with it? Like, oh my God. And even Trap Boy's his friend, he had a good friend named they called him what was it? Money Chasing Dion or Pocket Pimping Dion, something like that. He was a
Mhm.
rapper actually. He was like a local rapper. And and he was found dead behind Rudy's Chicken. In the alley behind Rudy's Chicken back in the days. And like I said, Darius, that was his doing. But he didn't get his hands dirty.
Mm,
He had one of the other boys to do it. But his cousin, Devontae Owens, took that charge for him. And
mm,
honestly, I don't think Devontae did it. They killed him somewhere else and they dropped him off in that back alley.
wow.
But Devontae, because the fact that the FBI, when it came time for Shavon's trial and stuff, Devontae was one of the ones that they had to try to plead with.
Mm,
Everybody else, we had cell phone tracking. FBI had cell phone tracking and could place them in places because they knew that those were the numbers, their phone numbers and stuff like that. But Devontae, they didn't have enough tracking on Devontae. They just knew that he was involved. But so with that being said, they gave him 30 years for the organized crime. And then he also pled guilty to Dion's death. He pled guilty to his murder. So they run it and they gave him 30 years for that. So they running that together. So if anybody sees the streets again, it'll be him.
Mm. And then I
If
know it ain't
anybody
gonna be
sees the
safe
streets
for
again.
him. Uh,
Yeah.
mm, mm. And do the
If anybody,
detectives keep you up when they do go to court? Like how Darius Nim is going to court about the Mo3 case with Yellow Beezy. Or do the detectives keep you up with everything that's going on with them legally and stuff due
yeah,
to what happened to Shavon?
or like say it's something like, yeah. If they ever moved or anything like that, I'll find out. But say like if I see it and I ain't heard nothing about it, I'm calling and I know exactly who to call and they let me know everything.
Wow.
Now the DA that actually represented Siobhan during trial, she no longer works for the city of Dallas, but just occasionally I still kind of keep in contact with her. She was one of the best. Jen Fox, she was the best. And Jen got it done, baby. Jen
Okay.
got it done. Yes, she did. She got it done. Yes, she did. And they tried her. Huh. He tried her with that old lawyer. Baby Jen got a mile, honey. And she did a wonderful job.
And I was gonna ask you, how did you feel about law enforcement, as far as, but you kind of said, you was happy with how everything turned out because, like you said, we see it
In
every
the
day, even today, that murderers
Yeah,
get out quicker than a drug dealer. They do,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy and it's sick, but they do.
They do. And like in the beginning though, I feel like Dallas police, I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit. Like when we knew that she was missing, and then they knew what cell phone tower her phone pinged off of when they made their last phone call to Kendall.
Hmm.
They knew exactly
Hmm.
what cell phone tower her phone pinged off of. But why wouldn't you send your people out to start? I don't know. I don't know how they work. I was thinking to myself, like, I feel like they dropped the ball because in my mind, if I was a police officer, I would have been and hit every abandoned house over there in that area by that darn thing. Don't get me wrong, there's probably a whole bunch of them over there in that area, but the house stood out. It's been there. It's been vacant. Y'all saw cars put neighbors saw cars pull up in a backyard to an abandoned house, and nobody wanted to call and say nothing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Even though they did it late, a lady said, "I saw a car pull up back there, but I didn't know what was going on."
That's crazy, Mr. Quana.
Like,
That's
whoa. I mean, it was like now y'all want to come out and say something. Like I just felt like that was just the craziest thing ever. Like why wouldn't they start trying to check out of these abandoned houses and stuff?
crazy. Did you ever feel like you knew, like y'all knew from, was anybody talking besides the police just going by the opinion? Was anybody bringing any kind of news to y'all, like, hey, I think it could be, was it any gossip going on, anything?
Yeah. On the internet, people were talking. They was talking like uh especially when they found out who he had done purchased who he had done stole the weed from. I believe that was the first thing that came out, which they found out it was Darius Field stuff.
Mm.
So once they found out it was Darius Field stuff, then my cousin, her name is Essence. It was like we was up all night. Like I said, my whole family was out there in Lancaster. She got on that computer and got to reading people comments when they was talking about Siobhan's situation and everything, saying what they were saying, and they were saying certain names. And then when the police actually came, the neighbor across the street from where my sister-in-law lived, he had a camera. So we were able to catch like a glimpse of the car, and
Mm.
then down the street, when the car went off the street, the day that they came and got her in Desmond's baby mama car. and basically put a pillowcase over my baby head and walked out there to the car when they took her. Yeah, so they that's how they found out what the car looked like, what kind of car it was and everything. Got the license plates off of the car from another camera that was basically down the street as the car was on the street. That's how they got the information on their car.
Mm,
They found the car in 5 Mile, on 5 Mile over there, Oak Cliff behind Good Haven. That's where they found the car at. And her DNA and stuff like that was in the car. And and well, what happened after the Lord Jesus Christ? Just-
take your time, Miss Shaquana.
But yeah, yeah, they the cameras caught the car, so that's how we found out about the car and stuff like that. They couldn't actually pinpoint like who actually went in and got her or nothing like that. But just in my brain, I was thinking, she don't. You know how your mama always tell you, if I'm gone, don't open up that door for nobody. I don't
Hmm.
care if it's your daddy, your whoever. If they ain't got no key, don't you open up that door and let them in. But like I said, she was there because she was making money babysitting the kids. So the only thing that I could think of them doing was knocking on their door. And honestly, when they came, Siobhan was on the phone with my mama and my daughter and them because they was on FaceTime actually. And
Mm,
she told them, I'ma call y'all back, somebody at the door. Yeah. She was on FaceTime with them at my mama house, just calling around, just harassing all of us. And she had done got her a phone, girl. Ladaris had done bought her a phone for her birthday. So she had a phone, child. That baby couldn't wait to turn 13 and she couldn't wait to get a phone.
hmm.
But yeah, she was actually on phone on FaceTime with my mom and them. And then said that she was gonna call back because somebody was knocking on the door. The only thing that I could think of them saying when they knocked on that door is that when she said who is it, they probably said KP.
Yeah.
Or just her knowing that he was coming to come and bring the kids. But see, he never brought them.
Mm,
And that was because they had done already knew that these boys was looking for them, so they knew not to show up over there. They had text messages that came up in court that was telling them, "Oh, we know where her mama live. We see these kids out here. We gonna get them.
wow.
We gonna get one of them." And I believe that when they said that, their kids would be over there and they would be outside playing, but Siobhan would be out there with them too. And like I said, she looked so much like Ladaris, they probably thought she was one of her kids, like she was one of their kids.
Probably so.
Yeah. So I don't know, but the little kids didn't come that day. They never came. They never got dropped off. And that was because they knew that them people was looking for them.
Sure
But if
did.
y'all, my thing was that was another thing that I fought with and that I was so angry about. Like y'all knew what y'all did. Well, he knew what he did. They had been texting y'all and telling y'all, we know where her mama live at. We be seeing them kids over there, this and that. Why not? If you didn't actually tell nobody what happened, why not call your sister and be like, Lunatica or, you know what I'm saying, or Shaquana, can y'all just, can you go over there and get the kids? Can they come over there with y'all? Or, you know what I'm
That's
saying, find somewhere, tell somebody something to where them kids wouldn't have been there at that house,
hmm.
but they didn't consider that. I feel like they didn't consider that. Like they didn't care. Like they did what was best to protect their own. And it was like, forget about me. And then honestly, easily it couldn't have been, it could have been to where it wasn't Siobhan. It could have easily been her sister, Lil Cassie. My niece that was there, the one that has Down syndrome.
Mm.
It could have easily been her, but they didn't think about that.
You know, it, the story do make me feel like that's why her kids didn't go over there for sure, Shaquana. They knew.
Yeah.
They definitely knew.
Yeah,
They
they knew.
definitely
They knew.
knew. And I mean, she's
And I mean, I've had time now to actually talk to Kendall. And at first, that was hard. And I can't say I hated him because I really, I did in the beginning. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. I did. But like, since years have passed and stuff like that, I was always like, why he never did call me and apologize or nothing like that. But come to find out, my sister in law asked him why. He wanted to. He wanted to call me and say that he was sorry about what he did and how it ended up getting Shavon killed and this and that. He wanted to apologize to me.
mm,
But they asked him, they told him, you ain't gotta call her and apologize to her. You already apologized to us. And it was because it happened at their house. That's what my sister in law said. Because it
what?
happened at their house. But that's not your child. I
Right,
needed to hear that. I needed to hear that from him for my clarification. For me to get clarity. I needed to hear that. I needed to know that this man wasn't out. Like in my head at that time, I'm thinking, oh, he was saying, forget Siobhan, that ain't my baby. That's how I'm feeling. Like it wasn't now one of my kids. So
right.
what? What I gotta call her for? That's how I'm feeling. But that's not how that boy felt. That boy wanted to talk to me. He wanted to apologize to me. He
Mm,
wanted to hug me. He wanted to beg and cry with me and tell me that he was so sorry about what he did that got my baby killed. He wasn't expecting for nothing to go like that. He did not know who he was dealing with. He wanted to be able to tell me that. But for my sister in law to sit there and tell this man, you ain't got to talk to her, that made me feel a certain type of way about her. And it made me feel a certain type of way about her and what
absolutely.
type of person and what kind of person she was.
Mm,
And I just, I mean, oh, oh, I mean, and then when it did come time to where he told my son, that's what happened. He told my son, he was like, I wanted to, because I told my son, I said, ask, because my son is close to him. He talks to my son. He didn't apologize to my son. He didn't apologize to my kids, but he had never said nothing to me. And I used to be mad when my son used to talk to him. What you talking to him for? Yeah, what you talking to him for? He didn't care about your sister when your sister got killed. So what you hanging out with him for? What you worried about him for? Why you calling him? He wasn't worried about us. He didn't care about your sister. He let your sister get killed. And he ran on to East Texas. That's how I felt. But my son said, Mama, he did want to talk to you. But he said, and Roro told him, no, he ain't got to call you and apologize to you because it
right.
didn't happen at your house. And I said, what? But here I am being me, and I'm mad already. I done lost my baby. What you did, I got my baby killed. So what? You still should have reached out to me. You still should have got in contact with me to apologize to me and tell me that you were sorry and cry and hug me and whatever it was that you felt like you wanted to do. You still should have reached out and you still should have done that. It shouldn't have took 6 years after all of that happened. It happened 6 years after Siobhan got killed before I actually talked to him and he apologized to me and he hugged me and he cried. He go, this man making his business
Mm-hmm.
whenever I guess because we all do that. We get our feelings and he go and see her. He put flowers on her grave. It's days he go when he don't take Ladaris, when he don't take the kids. He go by himself. And he talk to Siobhan. He leave her flowers and everything. But he apologized to me. And he told me, he said, I should have never listened to them. He said I should have did it when I wanted to do it in the beginning. I said, yeah, because they had me feeling a certain type of way about you. I felt like you didn't care. Like you didn't, it was like, forget my baby. Forget me. And it was my baby that was lost. You didn't lose one of your kids. I lost my baby. My
Mm-hmm.
kids lost their sister. And you never tried to reach out to me and say nothing. Like you didn't care. Like you didn't, like it was nothing.
Cause
I
that's what it's
received no
giving.
communication.
That's crazy.
But, but your girl, but your baby mama going to open up a business and name it after my baby, Amore Shavon. And then you was pregnant when all of this happened. She was pregnant. Siobhan passed away. She ended up having a baby some months after and named her son Kavon
And this is her last baby by KP.
by Kendall. Yes, a little boy. His name is Kavon.
Wow. Not
And
Kavan. Mr.
yeah,
Shaquana Child.
he named her. She named him Kavon. Don't get
Child.
me wrong. In the beginning, it was some. I was angry about that, but the way I was raised, the kids ain't got nothing to do with what these grown folks going through.
Right.
And it wasn't in me to sit here and like tell her kids, oh, y'all daddy is the reason why y'all cousin got killed. Because they never knew that.
Mm.
They never knew that. They just knew Siobhan was dead. They never knew why or nothing. The older ones, they never knew why. And here she is. She had that second baby. That second baby looked just like Siobhan.
Mm.
And I love them to death. Siobhan, my kids, they love to mess out them kids. And I do too. I love to mess out them kids. I don't blame them for nothing. I don't. And I never have. But I've always wanted to ask, like, what if the shoe was on the other foot? What if it had been my baby daddy
Mm.
that had done went and did that, and they came back looking for one of us, but your child was over my house, and they took your baby until they can get their stuff back. But at that point, they knew they had done. Once their faces and stuff got blasted on the news, I already knew it in my heart, in my soul, and everything. When I tell you, we sat back 5 days. I had classmates, schoolmates, everybody I went to school with, worked with, and everything. We built our own search party.
Amen.
We was walking the streets, putting signs on people's doors, cars, everything, trying to find my baby for 5 days. Especially over there in that area where they say her phone pinged at. Something that the police should have did. Everywhere.
Did
And
they even do an Amber Alert, Miss Shaquana?
yeah, they did. They
Okay.
did. They did the Amber Alert. I want to say it was about like Siobhan got kidnapped at like between 10 and 10:30. So I want to say it was about like 11:15, 11:30 when it started going off on everybody's phone. Taking my family was trying to keep me away from my phone and from the TV and stuff like that. And I just happened to have to use the restroom. And I walked in my sister-in-law's house and it was on the news just to
Wow.
see my baby picture on the news. Just me having to try to reach out to people and get to them if y'all don't seen my baby. She missing. You know, that's all I knew. I just knew she was gone and we could not find her. That's all I knew.
Miss Shaquana, I want to thank you so much for sharing Siobhan's story. It's been a long time for me to get her story out, but with a mother's fight for justice, which is you, and the facts and the real authentic side to a mother who lost a child in a horrific, the most horrific way ever. What message before we get out of here, Miss Shaquana, could you share to other mothers and or just parents altogether who's gone through this type of situation?
Just I can't say it's gonna be okay because it's never gonna be okay. Once you lose a child, it's never gonna be okay. It's just a matter of being able to cope,
Hmm.
to be able to wake up, get past those tears and whatever you feeling, and try to do something to keep pushing. Like me, I work like crazy. I try to work, work, work. Even on my off days, I be trying to find something to do just to try to stay busy. I work at a nursing home, so I think that was like a way for me to be able to, because that was my child, like I said. And I even share her story with the residents up there, older residents and stuff. I talk to them about it and stuff like that. And I guess just being able to care for somebody else that, you know what I'm saying, really don't have family that come up there to see them and stuff like that. I mean, people I don't even know. I'm their niece, I'm they cousins or whatever. We get some young people up there too. I'm their sister, I'm their niece, I'm their grandbabies, and
Right.
all of that. I guess just doing what I do as far as being able to care for somebody else, it kind of like it helps. It's like it's a counseling for me,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, that I do for myself. But it's hard. It's hard. I just say take it one day at a time. Stay prayed up. It's hard to actually, like, in the beginning of when all of this happened, I lost my trust in God. I did. I'm not even gonna sit here and I'm not gonna tell no story. But I did. I lost my trust in God. It was like, what kind of person this takes, and because you always heard God don't make no mistakes. This was a mistake. This wasn't in God's plan. I
Mm.
don't believe that this was in God's plan at all. So like what's up? Like, I know you didn't make this call. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, and you know how they say God throws out signs, right? Bam, bam, bam. My mama say them boys was dodging every last one of them. My mama said God was throwing signs at these boys. My mama said God was. Can you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear you, Miss Shaquana. No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. You good.
Okay. Now you can. Okay.
Yes.
Somebody still trying to call my phone. But my mama always said God was throwing them signs, Shaquana, and they was missing it. They was
Mm.
missing it. And I truly I believe that. Like he was throwing all the signs out there and they did something that was out of order. It wasn't his call. Like I said, they did something that was out of order. That's why whatever they do or whatever they got going on from here on out, they ain't gonna never be good for them. Nothing is ever gonna go good for them. Never ever again.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let me ask you this
Nothing.
before we get out of here. Queen Tulsa says sending love and hugs. TT said bless your heart. Rich Block said thank you for your testimony. You are truly an angel. Stay strong. TT said you got this, mama. Slow walking guy said stay strong, sister. Stay strong. If you could see Mo3 today, what would you say to Mo3?
I give him a hug and tell him thank you so much for like just even acknowledging the fact that of the situation. Like you knew that was wrong. Like why would they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like why would they even do something like that? And then like when he said it in the song, it was like a feeling. Like they left Shavon in that house. He said, don't mind me, he talking out loud. Like he was thinking it in his head. Like why would they do her like that, And but he was just speaking it out It was
Yeah.
just coming out of his mouth. Yeah. And that's what everybody was asking. Like when we were seeing when people were seeing her picture, like you just could not believe that that was Shavon. Like what? Like who kidnaps? Like that. It just. I mean, people kidnap kids.
Yeah.
But come on, you be honest. Be honest with me now. It ain't usually. You know.
Yeah.
It ain't like that. It ain't like that
Mhm.
because, like I said back in the days, that way that's not what it was. It was probably going on, but we wasn't knowing nothing about it. And then,
Mhm.
honestly, I'm gonna tell you another thing. After Siobhan got killed, it just seemed like it became a thing. Then kids just dying, kids getting shot, kids getting caught up, 14-year-old kids getting killed trying to steal something out of a stove, or just random stuff with kids just getting killed. Kids coming up missing. Like what is going on? Has our world became? Like what's going on? Like where did it change? What's little kids with guns? Like man,
That's crazy. That's all I heard now. The kids taking life of another kid.
yes,
50-year-olds taking lives of 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds, and I'm with you on that. I never thought I'd see the day, Miss Shaquana. I never thought I'd see this within our
yeah,
black community. And I'm praying for you, Miss Shaquana. I hope we can stay in touch for sure. Anything you got going on out as far as your fight for your baby girl, I want to be a part of that. I'm so grateful for Rainwater for connecting us together and stuff like that. I definitely follow you on Facebook for sure. I love your
mhm.
energy. I love the messages you put out there for the mothers and the parents, and um, you can't you don't show that you are hurting. You show strength. You show power
And I have to.
through
I
your
have to.
daughter's name,
Got
and
I
that is
got
to me.
3 kids outside of Siobhan. And I feel like if I don't fight for them, nobody else will. If I don't stay strong for them, they'll break.
Mm,
They'll break. It's been plenty times I've had to deal with stuff like that. I got one now. She has panic attacks. We ain't never had to worry about nothing like that. One of my daughters, she basically done got into dance ministry. It's like she just became like stronger in her ministry. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. My oldest daughter, it is a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And it's because of Siobhan. It got real. It did. My son, he is real hurt. But you know how boys are.
yeah,
They try to, play that tough role. They pride, and all of that. And I think it hit him a little harder than it did. Not a little harder than it did with the girls, but it hits them all different.
yeah,
And my son, it became a point in time where I feel like he was kind of acting out a little bit to say, but it's like as he done got older, it's a way that he expressed himself that, I see it in him, but he try to my son feel like he have to stay strong for me when it's not his job. It's my job to stay strong for him.
mm,
And that's what I be trying to get him to understand. But it's no, mama, I got this. I got this. He 20. But he was saying it at 16, 17. He thought it was a man. And he
okay.
was, because his daddy wasn't here, so baby, my son, he think he my daddy. And he
Oh,
not.
they all do.
No.
Mine do. I have to check you all the time,
Yes,
Mr. Quanda. Like, girl, I
baby.
had
Oh
you.
my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thank God for them though. They keep me sane. They do. They keep me sane.
As a blessing. Lady Mysterious said, "That's right, Mama. She is your assignment. You are her voice. Word that strength. Walk in it. Smile in her memories."
Hmm. And I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna do just that. They promised me a memorial. I got it on tape, him saying it. Even though he got incarcerated after saying that, I still feel like the city is responsible for giving me a memorial. I don't have anything against anybody. I hate for people to lose their kids and stuff like that. You
Mm,
know, I don't have nothing against nothing they done did for as naming streets after certain people and schools and all of that. But what happened to what y'all promised me?
mm.
And then what y'all did for the other people, it wasn't even promised to them. It was actually promised to me. But me and my family, we never got that. And I feel like that is still owed to us. And it is.
Uh,
It's still owed to us.
who can we write? Who can we write? Miss Shaquana. Who do we talk to about that?
Right now, I think the person that they have in office in the spot that he was in, I believe her last name is Arnold. I cannot think of her first name, but it's like every time I call, I get left on hold, or we're gonna take a message and we're gonna have her call you back and this and that. And then when I actually did get through to somebody, they talked about how um that basically, the fact that they don't put the house there. So now it was about when she came in, it's not that she didn't know about the situation, she didn't know that something was promised. So she was unable to actually, make that happen. Okay, but what can y'all do now?
Yeah, yeah.
And they told Maxie Johnson, um one of the guys, I don't think that's really his area right there. I think he more so like up there by sock or whatever, but they did a lady by the name of Trisha Allen, who's with No More Violence organization. She actually reached out for me too to Maxie, and Maxie was like, they was basically saying like it was nothing that they could do. Even if we did do a memorial somewhere over there in that area, it would have to get approved by the city. And then say if the city approve it, right? I have to come out of pocket. Like say if I wanted to be a tree or a bench, I have to come out of my pocket. The city has to approve it, but I have to come out of my pocket and I have to purchase whatever it is that's going to be planted there or set there for her memorial.
Wow.
And I don't feel like that. I don't feel like
I
that's
don't
right
think we should
at
have to.
all.
I don't think so. I don't
That
think.
that's what I was told. That
Can you send me
if the city does approve a spot for me to put her memorial in, I would have to come out of pocket on whatever I was going to be putting there for her memorial.
that? If you're in the Dallas, Texas area and you can help Miss Shaquana with this, get in touch with me, please. And Miss Shaquana, can you send me that information? Text me that information. Try to get Miss Arnold's number and stuff like that so we can get on to that and try to
Okay,
help you with this. Yeah.
I will. I
Yeah.
will.
Thank you so much, Shaquana, for blessing my. I'm so honored, and Shavon's story will forever live over here. I will always keep her name alive. Definitely on June 28th is coming up, so we want to pray for you. We want to wrap our arms around Miss Shaquana. It is
Y'all
coming up.
don't forget to get on there and say happy birthday to my baby on the 22nd. Happy heavenly
Let's
birthday.
get give
On
me
the
the. Can I drop your Facebook in the chat, Miss Shaquana?
Yes, you can.
Okay, hold
It's
on, guys.
Shaquana Person. It's
Okay,
my name, Shaquana Person.
let me get Miss Shaquana's information for y'all so y'all can go and wish Shavon a happy heavenly birthday. and stuff like that. And let's see how we can help Miss Shaquana get this bench and get this memorial, because she and that's all the woman's asking for. She's not asking for money. She's not up here saying, hey, I need y'all to pay for this. Like, she's just saying, y'all promised that to me. And you know, when somebody promises you something, you know what I'm saying? That sticks.
Yeah.
It do,
Yeah.
Miss Shaquana. I mean, it just do. That sticks, Shaquana. I don't
I
care
know.
who say what. When you promise
Yeah.
me anything, I remember that.
And then you
If
promised it to me on national TV. And Siobhan's case was so high profile. Like, that helped him get reelected until
wow,
he got in trouble.
wow,
Yeah,
Miss Shaquana, send me that clip if you
I
can.
will.
Send me that.
Yeah,
Send me that clip, please. Send me that clip,
I
because that
will.
is crazy to me. I mean, I'm just sitting here. Mm,
Yep. My baby even went and put up my oldest daughter. She actually brought it back up after, we found out that they had built the house there. And my daughter, she got on Facebook ranting about it and actually played the clip and was basically saying how we never got a memorial for Siobhan and stuff like that. And I mean, even then, when we started back reaching out again, it was at a dead end all over again.
wow.
Nobody knew the correct people to talk to or who I need to talk to about it and stuff like that. I guess it was if it was something that he had something to do with, they was not trying to honor it. They wasn't trying to do nothing.
It's
Hmm.
crazy work. This done broke my heart. She said, I stand together in this moment, Miss Parker. Please place your contact information. It's time to work. There goes her Facebook. So if anybody would like to help put something toward helping her get a bench or something, so we can, keep have Siobhan's memories right there. Right there. Just a memorial for Siobhan. She deserves it. And the city promised this to this lady only to get elected and move on, like he was standing. And I hate when people do that. Shaquana,
Yeah.
I hate when people do that for the votes and stuff like that, to win the community over. Like, oh, that's so nice of him. Look, because people sympathizing. So at that time, people was over here sympathizing with you, but they trying to hear the good deed that he said he's gonna do for you. He ain't did nothing.
And I know that out of all the people that I came in contact with, far as nonprofits and all of that, the whole time when all of this happened, it's only three people that actually came through on some things that they said that they were going to do. And that's Taylor Tonance with 4 Oak Cliff, Miss Trisha Allen with No More Violence, and Bruce Wayne, well, Antoine Lucky, he's with Urban Specialists. Him and Bishop Omar, but Bishop Omar passed away around COVID. But I mean, those three people, like when I say kept their word and tried to help me out and help me do some stuff. And I mean, I didn't have nowhere to stay. Taylor Tonus helped me with that. I ain't gonna say everything went perfect, but he stuck by his word. He helped me out. He was somebody I could go and talk to. He was, good to my kids. My kids love the mess out of him. Miss Trisha, her organization is about keeping the memory alive, about helping families keep their children's memory alive. And Miss Trisha does just that. Everything that she has, Shalon pictures up, she, might call me in to come and go with her to go speak to somebody that done lost their baby or something like that. And I've done that with her. And Antoine, he's been kind of busy here lately. He a big man now because he done opened up. I believe they've opened up a school that
Okay.
some type of school or something through urban specialists that had something to do with Bishop Omar. And he just been kind of busy with his son's career and stuff like that too. So I haven't talked to him in a while, but I know he there. I know if I reach out, even like Dominique Alexander, I know if I reach out, like I was trying to get into how they be having them big old city meetings.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you go down and people come up to the podium and state, stuff and stuff like that. I was trying to get into there. So that's why I was trying to get in touch with Dominique. But I see Dominique been kind of busy with helping out with
The Anthony family.
Carmelo Anthony, yes. I seen he been kind of busy with that, but I did, shoot him a message a while ago. And I
Good.
know, once he get everything straight, he'll reach out and try to help me with that. He kind of big on that, stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Tracy Ann said, Miss Parker, we can write letters to the city, send them to you, and you can send all of our letters together. Okay, Tracy Ann, y'all got my email. Y'all email me some letters, and I'll get the email from Miss Shaquana, and we'll try to get those emails sent over. If y'all want to email me y'all letters and stuff like that, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? And start making something shake in the name of Shavon.
Yeah. And I see somebody tried to post the Cash App is Cook the Pot. Somebody got Cook Pot one.
Nah, it's cooked up pie. Yeah, it's cooked up pie. My bad. That's TT.
It's
Hold on,
the
y'all.
it's
I didn't even pay
COOKDAPOT
attention.
one.
I got it right here. I'm
I
sorry,
think it
y'all.
got
I'm
it's a
sorry.
picture. Should be a picture of my son and my daughter on there.
If y'all trying to send her anything, I'm sorry about leaving that up there. Let's make sure we spell out the cash apps right, you guys. Make sure I check in, and it's easy. It's an easy mishap, TC. So I'm not upset with you or anything. I ain't even pay attention because
Oh
I'm so
no, she
deep
fine.
into the story. But
She
it's
is
cooked the
fine.
pot. If you would like to send a love token to Miss Shaquana, you guys, that is her cash app and things like that. Miss Shaquana, it's been a blessing, but please, when we get off the phone, if you want to contact me or shoot me the emails and stuff for these people, Miss Arnold's, if you could find her name. She said, I'm sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry, Mama.
Oh no, she fine. Tell her that's okay. It's not a big thing. I was just so happy to look down and I saw it on the on the thing. I was like,
I'm glad you peeked it. I'm gonna look. I've been at work since 6 o'clock this morning. You know, I text you. I was like, Shawana, please give me the 4:30. Let me get home. As soon as I came home, traffic was horrible. I had to jump straight in the shower off work, come
yeah.
here and get my notes. I was like,
And
dang,
look, I was supposed to be out today. Remember, I told you I was off yesterday and today.
yeah,
I went into work this morning. Like I said, it's that month. This
yeah,
month it be hard for me, so I be trying to keep my mind going really, because don't get me wrong, I wake up every morning and I cry. I go on and get that out of my system, and then I try to keep on pushing. Wash my face, brush my teeth, and get on the road. But I went in and helped out this morning, so I wound up going on to work.
yeah. That's how. Look, that's how I was. I was yesterday, Miss Shaquana. Then I text you. I was like, can we reschedule, please? I was like, because by the time I had got off of work, it was like 4:15. I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna be able to get through this traffic, get in the house quick enough to jump on her, send her the StreamYard link. So by the grace of God, I got on my break today, and I was like, let me set everything up, let me talk to Miss Shaquana and stuff like that. And I was like, Miss Shaquana, I actually got it for 4:30. Is that okay, girl? You said yes. I
Oh
said
yeah,
thank you for understanding, and I
yes,
appreciate that so much because like they have been turning me up at work. You hear me? It's like I said, my feet hurt.
yes.
I could barely stand today, but I was like, man, I gotta get Siobhan's story. I'm getting Siobhan's story out here. And again, Callie's been pushing me
Yeah.
for years to get out here. And then, like I said, when I was trying to do it, people was coming in with all these stories behind it. So I said, rainwater. And I hit rainwater up months ago, Miss Shaquana. Months. And I was like, can you get me in touch
Mm,
with Shavon Randle's mother? And by the grace of God, he had hit me up. And I'm thinking in my mind when he hit me up, like, Rain, it's been like 7, 8 months ago. You hear what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, he
mm,
called me. Rain called my phone. He was like, what's your number? And soon as we talked, he was like, check your messages. And he sent me a number.
Yeah.
So I was forever grateful.
I had went and did one with him. I did one with him like probably about like a month ago, I believe. Yeah,
On his
but
podcast.
yeah.
Can you send that to me
hmm
so I can share it on my YouTube and Facebook channel?
We honestly, he said that the girl that it was some kind of mishap for us losing footage and stuff like that. I think he just got some clips, I believe. I haven't seen none of it yet, but he wasn't going to put it out anyway until I saw anything that came off of it. So, but we're just waiting on the. We were supposed to go back and do it again.
I hope you do.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. He said he was gonna call me back in to do it again so that we could make sure that we get everything this time. Yeah, but
Oh,
it was some footage lost and stuff like that through the person that he had recording for him. So,
mhm.
we're just gonna redo it again.
I think that's gonna be nice, and especially for that, for your state of Texas, and for other mothers to see that somebody's out here going through the same thing you're going through. You're not alone, and things like
Yeah.
that. You are so inspirational because, like I said, you can't tell that I don't see pain with the passion in your post to other mothers out there, to other families that are going through what you're going through. You are so passionate.
Yeah. And I have to stay that way because if I don't, I would break down.
Hmm.
Every day is a different day for me. Like, it's tough. It is. It's nothing new. It's
Miss
a
Callie
lot.
said, she said, I'm going to message you, Miss Shaquana, on Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
Girl, look, I'm over here yawning. I can't even stop yawning, Miss Shaquana. They don't want me out. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
girl. This is
Like,
some rest.
girl, I think they feed me good at work. I ain't getting no time till I ate that plate after lunch. You heard me? I got in there
Yeah.
and got my lunch from the chef, baby, and it was all she wrote. And the next thing I
Yes.
know, I was saying, my toes hurt. I was coming up with every excuse, girl, for them to say, you can go ahead and go. Go on, lay down. Go on, go, Miss Parker. You know what I'm saying? It's like the more I complain or said something, it's like the more work they gave me. You heard me? And I was like, what?
hmm
Let me just make the best of this day and get over here and get to Miss Shaquana and make it do what it do. But Miss Shaquana, please, I'll be contacting you right after this live. But I want to thank you so much for blessing my panel and sharing Shavon's story with us. And especially I see my Mo3 sector people in here and things like that. So it's a lot of people in here that's a fan of his music and that it know Mo3 personally that's in the chat and a fan of him altogether in everything. So we are honored to have you hit the platform and stuff like that. And I'm so glad that Mo3 put Siobhan in that song.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I'll be contacting you after I get done with this. Miss Shaquana, you are good to go. Thank you again. And I can't wait for you and Rain's
Thank you for
interview as
having me.
well. And don't forget to send me the clips of that too. Send me the clips of you and Rain if
Okay.
you got it. If he got it, send it to me or I can hit him up and try to get him. And also send me
Okay.
everything so we can get these letters started. And I want to send you some.
Yeah, I'm gonna call my daughter and get that clip from her that she
Okay.
has about him promising the memorial and everything. And I'm gonna send all of that to you. And then I'm gonna get that lady's email from Mr. Maxey. I'll try to email him and I'll try to text him and see if he'll send me that email for her.
Okay, and I got a homegirl. I'm gonna try
Okay.
to see if she can reach out down there. Send me all the numbers that you could think of. Send me every
Okay.
number that you could think of, and I can try to get her to touch down with some people tomorrow while I'm at work and stuff, and
Okay.
see what we can do.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I
Thank you
sure
so
thank
much.
you. Thank you for having
Go
me.
ahead. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Quan. If you got any last words, go ahead, girl.
Okay. No, I was saying thank you for having me and
Always.
listening to me. Look, I'm talking about and
Anytime.
listening to me vent.
Anytime, Miss Shaquana, you come over and kick it with us. Anytime, I'm gonna start sending you my links to get away.
My
You heard me?
goodness.
Come over and kick it
Okay.
with us and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we'll take you away, girl. Don't be minding me when I get the cussing and stuff. I won't do too much when
Okay.
you're, but don't be
Good.
minding me, Chad. I just be in my own
Oh,
little
okay. It be like that sometimes.
Chad. You heard straight up, just like that, just like that.
Mhm.
But I love you, Miss Shaquana. I do, and we're
Oh,
praying for you, and we're gonna do everything we can over here to try to see what we can do for a memorial and everything else. It just is what it is, and I think if everybody pitches in, we can do something nice. In the name of Shavon Randle and stuff like that.
mhm.
I want Miss Shaquana to be able to sit this one out. She's done enough, and let her keep fighting in the name of her daughter in a positive way. But I want to fight with her, and I want my team to help me fight with you as well. Slow walking guys
Okay.
left for sure, okay? And don't forget y'all hit my email, draw my email moderator so y'all can send me y'all letters and stuff, and I can even get them to Miss Shaquana and stuff, and we can go from there just to make sure that they're hearing us out. And also, like I said, a small donation to Cook the Pot One. Cook the Pot One, if y'all want to support her in any kind of way, here's her cash app. This is her cash app, guys. This is her cash app right there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Lizzie, baby. Slow walking guy set for sure. Moderators, drop my Tasha Capricorn 77 email in the chat. And when we'll text, I'll call you after this live, Miss Shaquana.
Okay. Okay. All right. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, you too. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
All right.
Mm.
All right. Y'all make sure again as Cook the Pot on the screen. I'll help you, Miss Shaquana. I'll help you. Miss Shaquana's like, how do I get out of here? Miss Shaquana just over there working it. TT just dropped my email, you guys. If y'all wanna send some letters to me and stuff like that, please do so. This is my baby, my Mo 3. I'm taking us out with this, you guys. I appreciate Miss Shaquana so much. I've been try to cover Siobhan's story for like 3 years, you guys. 3 whole years. And I just couldn't. I just, all the different stories, but she did give us clarity. She did give us clarity that Darius Fields and them are going to court for Yellow Bees in the case against Smoke 3. And she also said that they said that that marijuana that Kendrick Perkins took was indeed Trap Boy Freddy's. That she heard that it was Trap Boy Freddy's. We'll never know until August of 2026 when the trial for Mo 3 starts. This is my baby by Mo 3. He had put Shavon Randle's name in it. I love this song. That's what I love about 3. I don't care what y'all say about Mo 3. Mo 3 always thought about them kids. He was always giving back to the community. And I love it, okay? I love me some Mo 3. Hold on, y'all. Salute everybody. And if y'all sent her a donation, I appreciate that. Her Cash App is still on the screen, but I am getting out of here. My baby Drop some gorillas in the chat, y'all. Long live Mo3. Long live Shavon Randle. Long live Mike T. Long live 3. Long live Shavon Randle. Long live Mike T. Long live Cyrus. Long live Trayvon Martin. Long live Breonna Taylor, y'all. They was somebody's baby.